The current Albert Bridge came into being when it replaced the previous crossing, which the flood of 1880 demolished. The morning of St Swithin's Day, July the 15th, 1880, witnessed a terrible thunderstorm with torrential rain, and by 10 p.m. that evening the River Welland was rising rapidly. 11 p.m. saw Water Street, Bath Row, Station Road, Gas Street and the lower parts of St Mary's Hill and St Martin's submerged. The flood in Water Street was so powerful it was said to resemble a strong tide coming in. The old bridge, which was erected in 1862 at a cost of £350, was no match for such an adversary, and was washed away between 1 and 2 a.m. the following morning. Despite the severity of the flood and the damage wreaked, there was no reported loss of life. The flood aftermath led to discussions as to whether a substitute bridge should be constructed. The outcome of these discussions was in the positive. With the decision taken to replace the bridge, the next consideration was should it be a footbridge or a road bridge. To aid in this decision, reports and costings by Mr Everard, Civil Engineer of Leicester, were presented to the Town Council. Costs for replacing the footbridge in the previous location with a 90-foot span, 10 feet longer than the original 80-foot span, and incorporation of a 13-foot 6-inch flood passage at the Water Street end were in the region of £980. A road bridge would present a far more difficult and costly proposition. The bridge would be sited at a new location further east. Gas Street was suggested as the northern approach for a road bridge. Costs for the road bridge, which included compensation for property destroyed and awkward gradients, were £5,200, plus a further £2,000 for the necessary road widening of Gas Street. Great Northern Railway, amongst others, were willing to contribute towards a road bridge, but Town Council deliberations favoured a footbridge, mainly on grounds of cost. Great Northern Railway's contribution offer was not unexpected, as it would have increased access to their Stamford East station, situated on the corner of Water Street. Tenders were received for the footbridge, and by December 1880, Mr Everard's plan had been accepted. By June 1881, the ironwork had arrived from Leeds, but July 1881 reports were of an unexpected delay in the assembling of the ironwork. The delay must have been quickly surmounted, because the August 5th, 1881 edition of the Stamford Mercury pronounced the bridge open with only some finishing touches required. The completed bridge was constructed with stone piers on each bank, clad in ashlar plinth. Curved iron girder arches form the bridge's main support, and are linked at their midpoints with another arch spanning the bridge deck. The decorative ironwork is lattice balustrade, inset with heart-shaped panels. The southwest pier hosts an iron plaque declaring, "This bridge was erected in the second mayoralty of John Paradise Esquire, 1881, in the place of one totally destroyed by floods in July 1880, below the town crest." It is perhaps fitting that the Stamford Mayor, with a tenure from May 1969 to May 1970, Reg Seamer, who it is said thought himself of an artistic bent, painted the town crest on the plaque in its correct colours during the 1970s. Alas, weathering has robbed the plaque of Reg's work. The bridge had quietly served its purpose with little change for over 120 years, when it was decided that the approach to the deck should be more accessible. Being a Grade 2 listed building entailed gaining government permission for alterations, and the second half of 2003 had seen this permission sought and subsequently granted to improve the access. The original 5 stone steps at each end were to be split, with steps one half of each end and ramps filling the other sections. On the plan's initial release, concern was raised that cyclists and skateboarders would cause a nuisance to pedestrians, but a traffic regulation order banning said activities on the bridge allayed the concern. The work was carried out by LCR Highways of Lincoln, with additional stonework by Bowmans of Stamford, and was completed in October 2003. The improved access should be applauded, not only for its intention, but also its execution. The ramps and railings strike notes of harmony with the existing structure, when they could so easily have been ones of discord. Yorkstone paving slabs removed during the works were intended to be utilised elsewhere in the town. Whether this undertaking materialised is not known. Perhaps, if the slabs are still in storage somewhere, they could make good the paving stones that have been comically replaced by scored concrete masquerading as slabs on the old Stamford East Station corner of Water Street after electrical workers dug them up in January 2015. Electrical workmen used the same scored concrete masquerading as paving slabs trick near the Scotgate car park, also in 2015. Will the council seek redress from the electrical contractors to have these slabs replaced to their original condition? What do you think? Summer of 2007 saw the bridge shrouded, scaffolded and closed while repainting was undertaken. Thankfully, the subtle, sympathetic to its surroundings existing colour scheme was maintained. Pausing in the centre of Albert Bridge and looking west affords one an excellent vantage point for another bridge, the most handsome town bridge, designed by Stamford architect Edward Browning and built between 1848 and 1849. Thanks very much to Pete Seamer for his help in making this video.